Welcome back to Learn with Chris. I am Chris. This is going to be our last video for suffixes because we've already done the noun, adjective, and verb suffixes. So this video will be the adverb suffixes. There's only 8 that I found, and some of them are actually pretty rare. So yeah, so not too much about this video. So we're going to start with the most common adverb suffix, ly. So I don't know if it's 95% of adverbs end in ly. So it's extremely common. So for example, quickly, happily, slowly, quietly. So remember that adverbs give us information about how we do a verb. So for example, you can run quickly, you can sing happily, you can eat slowly, or you could walk quietly, right? So they're all connected to verbs. How you do the verb, that's the adverb. So ly, super common adverb suffix. Our next one is ward, W-A-R-D. And ward is about movement, how you move. So for example, you can move backward, you can move homeward, as in towards your home, upward, of course, like an airplane would go upward, or a bird, and inward, like maybe inside of a house or something. So backward, homeward, upward, and inward. This is all about movement. And then we have wise. For example, clockwise and counter-clockwise, lengthwise, and otherwise. So again, not exactly common, but so the clockwise, of course, how the hand of the clock, the minute hand of the clock, how it moves around the clock, it moves clockwise, or in the opposite direction will be counterclockwise. And lengthwise, so it means to go along the length of something. An example could be like cutting bread. Normally, we don't cut bread lengthwise. You cut it across. You don't cut it along the whole length of the bread, but you can. So that's an example, right? And otherwise would be something like I'm tired but otherwise happy, something like that, right? So not so common words, but they are adverbs. Another example is ways. So our fourth one is W-A-Y-S. Always, sideways, crossways, and lengthways. So example would be like a river. You could put logs crossways, so that would be across the river. So again, very specific examples here, and these are pretty rare words, but they are adverbs. And then we have fold, our fifth example, fold. Twofold, tenfold, hundredfold, and manifold. So most of these are related to numbers. So for example, tenfold would be kind of like divided into 10. So if you bend something 10 times, that would be tenfold. Or if you do something 10 times, that would be tenfold. Or 100 times would be a hundredfold. Manifold just means many times, basically. So an example of manifold would be something like the problems caused by the earthquake are manifold. In other words, a lot of problems were caused by the earthquake. Again, pretty rare word, but it is an adverb. And then our sixth example is long. So headlong, sidelong, along, and daylong. So again, like headlong would be, for example, if you jump headlong into a river, so your head is going in first, right? That's the direction that you would jump. Or sidelong would be that way, right? Long, of course, is to like walk along, go along. And daylong would be, again, pretty rare, but we can use it. For example, you could talk day long, as in all day long. Right? So a bit rare, but it's possible. Another example is time as an adverb suffix. Anytime, sometime, daytime, and nighttime. So again, you could travel daytime, right? You travel in the day, or you could work nighttime, work at the night, or call me anytime. So again, these are all adverbs. And our last one is while. Awhile, elsewhile, meanwhile, worthwhile. So for example, a while would be like rest a while. That means rest for a period of time. Elsewhile is an archaic form. We don't even use it anymore, but I couldn't find any other examples for while. Elsewhile is the same as earlier. So if you have an example like the meeting took place elsewhile, that means it took place previously or earlier. But it's an archaic word. We don't use it anymore in English, but it was used in the past in that way. Now we would just say the meeting took place earlier, right? So it's hard to find some of these examples because there's very few of them. So that's a total of 8 adverb suffixes. So ly, ward, wise, ways, fold, long, time, and while. And again, about 95% of adverbs end in ly. All of the other examples are pretty rare, so think ly and you'll do okay for most adverbs. So this is the end of our suffixes. I won't talk about suffixes anymore. So we've done a whole list of prefixes, we've done a whole list of suffixes about building vocabulary. And I'm going to make another video later today, and I'm going to be looking at idioms. So making videos about different idioms that I like. So I'm going to include the idiom itself or the idiomatic expression, include where does it come from, what does it mean, when do you use the idiom, and some examples. So I'll probably make about 3 idiomatic expressions per video, and I'll pick my favorite idioms. So remember that idioms are, they're very specific, but effectively, you have a situation, and an idiom is a way to very succinctly explain that situation. So you could kind of explain it in a lot of context or a lot of words to explain what's going on, or you just use the idiom, and the idiom will kind of summarize the situation or the circumstance very clearly to the person who you're talking to. So you use the idiom and like, oh, right, got it, I understand. Because the situation matches with the idiom. So that's what idioms are. They are expressions that kind of summarize a particular human situation of what we do. So that's all cool and everything, but the problem is that learning idioms, when you learn them, there's so many of them, they're only useful if you are in that specific situation. Then you could use the idiom. But if you're not in that particular situation, then knowing the idiom doesn't really help you, because you can't just use the idiom randomly. It has to match with the situation, right? But idioms are, they're always fun and interesting, and they have histories to them. So that'll be my, as I continue with my building vocabulary series, I'm going to be focusing on idioms for, I don't know how long, but at least for the next maybe a couple of weeks. The videos will be about idioms. Okay, thank you for watching. I hope you have a good day, and see you in another video. Bye-bye.